is in the building. Today's a double feature. Sorry for being a little late, but you know sometimes we're still stuck on that late time thing. Zeke Black's in the building. You know, of course, there's a lot of news swinging around. R. Kelly got sentenced to 30 years. Well, that's just for this case. I believe he has one more in the great state of Illinois. Great state of Mary Miller's. If you don't know who Mary Miller is, then you're not paying attention to the news. Well, R. Kelly may have slipped up. He slipped up too many times. He did too many things. And they gave R. Kelly 30 joints. The next hit that we'll have from R. Kelly is 30 years from now. Nope. So, moving on. Peace to the gods and nerves. You know what I'm saying? It's just deep. I know we go on the snitching paperwork. We love getting some paperwork, and we always speak about the brothers who inform on other brothers. Yes, R. Kelly has got himself 30 years. He's found himself 30 years just for this one. I believe there's one more. It's a dirty game out here. When you get rich, don't do rich things. That's the whole goal. When you get rich, you cannot become Rick James. You just can't do it. Rest in peace, Rick James. You can't do those things. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? It's just a dirty game out here. You know what I'm saying? Dirty accolades, suicidal, lawsuits. It's disgusting. But who are we? We're just the people. I'm just another man in the great state of Missouri. Now, back to the content. Uncle Murda. Some of y'all might remember him from his situation with Papoose. Some may remember him from when he first came out. Some may remember him from doing songs with Mano. Uncle Murda is a stand-up individual. He's solid. He doesn't care what people think, how people may perceive him. He does what's right in his heart. Now, one thing about Uncle Murda is he was running around with a great blood, a great gangster named Rod Diggs. Rod Diggs was allegedly the big homie of the big homies. Damn it, the big homie of the big homies. And he got that title, the big homie of the big homies. So, in the world of Uncle Murda, he did songs with up-and-coming rappers. Street gangsters, but up-and-coming rappers. And he did a couple of tracks with videos with a guy named Rod Diggs. And for you guys who doesn't understand who Rod Diggs is, we'll be touching up on that on the platform. Definitely salute the Crown Courts TV for the content. Check out all his content. Check out all the content he has. It's great. He has a great lineup. It's a lot of cases. It's no speculation. It's no motivation. It's no deniation. It's no preparation. It's no presentation. It's just straight to the point. Shout out to the narrators that speak on the platform. Back to the story. Now, most guys, when you ask them, are you going to testify for me on my behalf, they'll say no. No. Why would you say no for? Because I don't want people to think I'm a snitch. People look at things. I don't want the feds bothering me. But no, Uncle Murda, Mr. East New York, Mr. Bullets. He on tour right now with 50 Cent somewhere in Europe. So I'm screaming, free Debo Brown, you heard? Screaming Debo Brown, free Debo Brown. From East New York, you know the word. Shout out to Pink Houses, man. Both both sides. Lewis, Pink Houses, man. Let's get to the get down, man. There ain't too many dudes as a stand-up individuals. You talk about the rats, the rodents, the possums, the raccoons of the game. We talk about them. We talk about the Poles, talk about the Glazers. We talk about, the guys that told Little Midget from Kingsborough. We speak of those. talk about the stand-up dudes that do the right thing. There's no fake paperwork when a man puts his name, himself on the line for a man who got forever and a day in the feds. It's bigger than paperwork, man. Shout out to Crown Court TV. It's a good one. Man that didn't have to get on the stand, but he did, and he wanted to free one of his brothers, his brethren. Uh-oh.
The defense calls Leonard Grant. Leonard Grant having...
Leonard Grant is Uncle Murda. That's Mei Ling on the voices. Crown Court TV. Session. Sit your kids down about loyalty. Loyalty. This is loyalty right here. This is real talk. When you stand up for your friends, that's to get to forever and a day in the penitentiary.
And duly sworn was examined and testified as follows. Please have a seat. Please state and spell your full name for the record. My name is Leonard Grant, Leonard Grant. You may inquire. Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, Mr. Grant. Good morning. Do me a favor, try to keep your voice up, or maybe if you can direct the microphone a little closer. That better? That's better, thank you. Mr. Grant, are you known by any other names? Yes, they call me Uncle Murda. How did you get that name? From giving little kids money in the neighborhood and, from murdering the track and, from somewhat trying to give an image as a bad guy as well. But for murdering the beat, too. Like, when you're a rapper, they say when you kill a track, you kill a...
That was a good answer. I mean, you asked me, why would you call me Uncle Murda? I'm going to say, because I caught 4 bodies in the back of Cypress Projects. What was you supposed to say? That was good, Murda. That was good. You fastened his fools on that one. So I'm going to be honest with you. The average stupid nigga would have said, yo, why you call you Zeke Murda for? Because I caught a body in 88 I didn't get caught for, but we're not here for that today.
Beat. I murdered that beat. So I was known for performing good on records and tracks, so it was like murder, stuff like that. They had some connection to your music? It had connection to the music. What is your profession? I rap. How long have you been rapping professionally? Professionally, probably since 2002 is when I got my first record deal. So I've been rapping for the last, professionally, at least 12 years now. Can you describe what kinds of venues that you had performed at? Madison Square Garden, the Best Buy Theater, things of that nature, just a little bit of everywhere. Have you performed or recorded or collaborated with any well-known musicians? Yes, I did records with Jay-Z, Mariah Carey, people like that, 50 Cent, a bunch of people. Have you also sometimes worked on movies or television?
That's a fact, let's be clear. Uncle Murda was saying some positive stuff, and he wasn't snitching, he wasn't telling, he wasn't ratting. He did something a lot of you sucker dudes that even argue with somebody down. I wasn't going to testify, And he, know what I'm saying? He did what a friend's supposed to do when he's your friend. That means that he wasn't using Rod Diggs for his likeness for clout. That was really his friend.
Television projects? Yes. Yes, I'm actually working on something like that now with Netflix and AMC. We currently trying to put a movie together as well as with the music, so we kind of give it to the public at the same time. The music would be a soundtrack to the movie that we are working on. Music been in movies before as well, like Brooklyn's Finest with Wesley Snipes. Music on there as well. Okay, are you able to support yourself and your family through your rap career? Yes. Is it fair to say you achieved a fair degree of success as a rapper? Yes. Do you consider the rap industry a competitive industry? Yes, very, very, very competitive. Is it easy for someone to be successful as a rapper? No, not at all. Do you know Ron Herron? Yes. Did there come a time when you heard his music? Yes. To the best of your memory, when did that happen? Like around probably early 2009 or late 2008, sometime around there. After you heard his music, I took a liking to his music. I really liked it. His energy, at the time I had first heard his music, I was working with a couple of other groups that I had that did music, and I was really trying to focus on getting, like their career started. Then I got introduced to Ronald. I heard his music and became a fan of his music. We did a few records together and started working together during the music. Let me break that down a little bit. You said that you first heard his music maybe late 2008, early 2009, is that right? Yes. Did you meet him around that same time period? Yes. Did you eventually start spending time together? Yes. How would you describe your relationship with him in 2009 and going forward? We had a good bond because his passion for music reminded me of me when I was like first starting out trying to do the music. I see he had the passion and drive for it. He really wanted to do it. Was this purely a social relationship or also a working relationship? It was a working relationship at that point. What kind of work did you do together? Music. Did you make recordings together? Yes. Where would you do that? We would do that at the studio in Manhattan, Dan the Man Studio. Where is that located? In Manhattan on 30th Street. How often would the two of you get together at the studio? At least every other day. It was whether I have a session, he come to my session and listen to me record. Then we start working together, or he might have a session. I go check out him recording, then we work together, or we have a session set up together where we both was working at the same time, creatively working. The period of time we are talking about when you got together at least every other day, that's from sometime in 2009 until how long? Tell me. Up until he got arrested. It was well over a year? Yes. What were the basic activities that you did at the studio? We go into the studio, we put a beat on that we was trying to fight through, we sit in there, we write the lyrics, then we record it. That's a long process, so I say we'd probably start anywhere from 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, and then probably be finished up most nights, probably 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. Was it just the two of you at the studio, or would there be other people who would help the process? You got Dan the Man, the engineer, that's who records. He puts the music together, the engineer. So mainly be me, Ronald, and the engineer. You use pre-recorded tracks rather than live musicians, is that right? Yes. Would there sometimes be other rappers that would come by? Artists? Yes. Yes, we also had started working with Waka Flocka too. He was part of the group that we was putting together as well. I think that you said this would go typically, I believe you said from maybe 10 o'clock p.m. to 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock a.m.? Yes, to 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning. Some nights we might leave a little early to go to the club to try to promote the music that we was making. So after one of those sessions, when you were stopping at 4 o'clock, how did you feel physically? Tired, you kind of drained. Was it easy to recover from those sessions? You get your sleep. Did you work a second job during that period of time? No. Why not? Too much time required with the music, from recording all night, then getting some sleep. By the time you wake up, you're right back really at it with the music. You making your phone calls, trying to figure things out, your next move, or you writing music until you get back to the studio to record. Did you also sometimes make videos together? Yes. How much time would that be when the video process is involved? Sometime we shoot a video in a day, or sometime it take a couple of days to shoot a music video. Is it fair to say that over the course of this 1-2 year period, you got to know Mr. Herron pretty well? Yes. For a person who wants to pursue a rap career, promote a rap career, are there certain things you need to spend money on? Yes. Can you describe what those are? First of all, you got to spend money on the studio time. I will stop you right there if I may. How much does a studio cost? I mean, it could be anywhere from $50 to $75 an hour. Okay, please go on. First of all, you need money to record the music. Then, you need money to shoot the videos as well. Then you also need money to promote your records that you're trying to put out in service to the world. What kind of money do you need to spend to promote the records? You need a lot of money. That's why us artists, you get signed to a record label because they really take care of that. As far as promoting, the records, as far as the club, making the DJs play your recording, things of that nature. Is there money spent at clubs? Yes. Can you describe what that is? You spend money in the clubs on buying bottles and things of that nature. You buy bottles so it would be a good look, so people can talk about you. It's a necessary thing as a rapper. You need to be in the club with a bunch of bottles. It's a good look so people could buy into what you're trying to sell. On a given night when you're at the club buying bottles, how much money would you spend? If you buy bottles, you're looking at $400 or $500 a bottle. So if you're going in there, you promoting the project and you're trying to get a good look, any given night you could spend up to $3,000, $5,000 in a club. Now, when you and Mr. Herron were working together at the studios making recordings, who usually was paying that expense? I pay the studio time, or even like a situation with Ronald, because he wasn't really like financially stable like that. Even my guy, Dan the Man, the engineer, wouldn't charge him like a $50 rate or things of that nature. It might be $20. He might for an hour because he didn't have it like that. And he liked working with him also because Dan the Man the engineer is the type of engineer that to work with you, he really got to like your music too. So he really liked Ronald's music as well. So he wouldn't charge him the full $50 an hour or $70 an hour, things of that. He didn't have like that. Sometimes I know I helped, Ronald pay for the studio time. He probably even borrowed money from his girl too to get things straight. Did Mr. Herron spend money buying bottles at clubs? No. Why is that? Because he didn't have it like that. Are you aware whether Mr. Herron was trying to get other people to invest in his career? Yes. Can you think of anyone? I know a basketball player, Al Harrington. I know he talked a few times about him, trying to get him to invest in helping Ronald's music career. In this 2009 and later period, would you say that Mr. Herron was making a name for himself? Yes. Did he have followers? Yes, he was starting to get more followers, and he kept getting consistent with the music. When he came to a club, would there be a certain reaction to him? Yes, people would recognize that he was the guy, that he was Rod Diggs from doing the music. Do you know what the term male groupie means? Yes, we call that like, it be, people that don't really come around unless they hear you with somebody like famous or doing something. So that's what we call like somebody that just want to be around somebody famous, things of that nature. Did you observe whether Mr. Herron had any of these male groupies? Yes, it's fair to say we all might have a few, like male groupies that hang around. Do you know a person named or nicknamed Henny? Yes, I met him a few times. Can you describe who he is? He was kind of a guy like that. Like, he wanted to just be around the hip-hop scene, like...
Yo, this is real, man. Uncle Murda took the stand in good faith for his friends. And you rarely hear that. You rarely see that. You gotta give Uncle Murda his props for that, man. And you see how he kept it hip-hop so far. You see this conversation? All hip-hop. Mentioned nothing about the streets. He didn't mention about the Damu shit, none of that, all that other stuff. He kept it in the business. A lot of you dudes can't even focus. He kept it in the business, man. I never knew that there was a basketball player they was trying to put in the mix and things like that. Things of those nature. Things of that nature. It's deep, man.
He wanted, like if it was a show or something, he might hear about that was coming out, or maybe we was going to this club this night because maybe me and Waka Flocka might be there. He was the type of guy that tried to make sure he was there for that. Objection, Your Honor. Sustained. Would you describe him as a male groupie? Yes. Do you know if Henny was Mr. Herron's main source of transportation? I don't recall that. I know Ronald used to get his girlfriend Carla, and I remember sometimes he wouldn't even make it because I guess his girl was out or he couldn't get the car. So a set might have got canceled or things of that nature. I do remember him sometimes driving with Henny, but it wasn't like everyday thing, nothing like that. During the time that you were together at the studio, did you ever see Mr. Herron possess a gun? No. Did you ever see any of his friends possess a gun while you were at the studio? No. No further questions. Cross-examination.
Were you recently injured in a car accident?
Things of those natures. There'll be a part 2 to this, man. It's part 2 to this. We're gonna finish the testimony later. What do y'all think? Do y'all think Uncle Murda went too far on the stand? Leave it in the comments. I don't think. I just think he tried to keep it hip hop, and he didn't try to mention his ties to the street. So far, for what I'm listening to, is basically him saying like, "Yo, we had a hip hop relationship. We had nothing to do with gang, and gang." The one thing you do learn is stay out the streets, man. There's going to be a part 2 to this. It's a part 2 to this. Of course, there's going to be a part 2 to this. Shout out to Maylene, Crown Court TV. The content is out. That's her voice. We're trying to, they're just getting the voice back out there. Follow all their content. The energy is back. We're part of the Crown, the whole Crown family. And just, we're just pushing the culture forward, man. Definitely shout out to Push That Knife out there. In Clubhouse. It's deep, man. This is deep, man. We rarely see somebody that testifies for somebody in good faith. Definitely a rapper, because most of these rap dudes we hear testifies either telling or they telling themselves. So, what y'all think, man? We get back to it later. The rest of the, you know what I'm saying? Uncle Murda, he got on the stand and he spoke up for his friend. Why Diggs.
Good morning, Mr. Grant. Good morning.
That's it. So we're gonna get to the part that the cross-examine tomorrow morning. That's part 1. We're going to the cross-examination of Uncle Murda with the prosecution tomorrow morning, okay? With that being said, tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock, feed the wolves. I'm gonna feed y'all with this. Part 2, the cross-examination of Uncle Murda, a.k.a. Lenny Grant, a.k.a. East New York. Some things is real. Other than that, thank you, brother. Thank you. I appreciate it. We're just being in the streets. We're feeding the wolves. We're feeding you people, the wolves. This information. Some of y'all may have heard of this. Some of y'all might be new to this. But check out Crown Court TV for all the content, everything. Aileen's doing a lot of navigating. She's doing a lot of narrating, a lot of speaking on these shows. Just leave a comment. Yo, what's up? Yo, I'm here. You know what I'm saying? Don't forget, you got the liquor store, Eastern Parkway, Brooklyn. It's actually African American owned. If you're in New York, you go to Eastern Parkway. Look for Brooklynites. Say, yo, Zeke Black sent me. I don't know if we give you a discount, but just say Zeke Black sent you to the joint. You know what I'm saying? We love our city, man. I'm just talking about the city, New York City content. We're gonna have we got this joint coming up. We got the Homo joint coming up. We got the peanut joint coming up from little boys out of LG World and all of them. Just stay tuned, man. New York. With that being said, man, find something legal to do. Stay out these dirty streets and dirty crevices or these dirty corners. You know what I'm saying? Well, it's good work out here, man. Let's keep on this good work. This is part of the Streets is Watching series. Tomorrow will be the cross-examination of Mr. Lenny Grant. The prosecution, you heard? Ja, heard? It's a dirty game. You know, Rod Diggs went to jump some serious charges, man. You know what I'm saying? We was outside, you know, allegedly the murder was Mad Dogs and all that. You know what I mean? A lot going on. Salute to what you jacking podcasters out there in these streets somewhere. Definitely salute to him, man. Shout out to Brooklyn, Coney Island. In the streets, man. It's a lot, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, leave it in the comments how you feel. I think he did the right thing. But with that being said, peace. Shout out to East Harlem, Spanish Harlem. You know what I'm saying? UFO Feed just got his TS changed today. He is well deserved. He worked hard for that. Salute to that. Salute, you know what I'm saying? That being said, I appreciate y'all. We in the building. Shout out to St. Louis, wifey, Southern Belle, West Side St. Louis. You know what I'm saying? Camouflage. Everything. In the words of things of that nature. You know what I mean? Stay sucker free, man. Tomorrow will be the cross-examination. Go follow Crown Course TV. Maylene. Feed the wolves. Feed the wolves.